Hey, this is Notser, and we're back. 2.0, 3.0, it's a sequel, direct sequel, of course, to We're Back from, 1993, 1994. It's been trying the last month and a half. The PC issue, the internet issue, personal issue, I just can't get a break. And I've recognized this in my life. I'm not a lucky person. Everything that is successful in my life comes through work. I'm not one of those people that gets legendary to drop, or I don't win the lottery. That doesn't happen to me. But I just wish life wouldn't have been like, you know what? You feel bad, your PC sucks, and your internet's gone. All in a month and a half. It's been really brutal from a work standpoint. But hopefully, everything's fixed. PC, internet, myself. I don't know if that will remain true. I hope it does. As far as this video is concerned, I am able to upload at my regular rate, create the same content that I expect. Hopefully you appreciate it, and let's just move on. So, what the hell happened? Why have I not been getting Notser videos? Well, upload has been poor, to say the least. 3 hours for 10 minutes is not acceptable. I can't leave it online overnight. I can't make the content the high quality I want, so I just decided let's not do it. And that's my choice. I know, hey, I miss Notser. I know you miss it. I know, just give us something. I really can't break myself of this sort of expectation. So I'm sorry. But we streamed Friday, and what did we do? We played Ranked, and I'm sure many of you have been playing Ranked, and I would not recommend the technique that I chose to use on Friday's stream, which was play every single tier 6 in the game. There are a lot of bad tier 6s. Very, very bad tier 6s. The Leander is not one of the bad tier 6s. And it shows. Pretty much every game I played I think I played it twice. Which was kind of unfair, because I really didn't do that for anyone. But I think I played the Leander very, very early on. And people were like, well, what, I didn't see it. Can we go see it again? Yeah, sure. But played Ranked Friday. Just treaded water. Up, down, didn't go anywhere. Part of that is because I'm playing all the ships. And what I would like to do at some point in the near future is release a video discussing what ships I have personally found success in. I do not like making pre-release videos, and I was sort of encouraged to do it from Wargaming, and I felt like it wasn't fair to the ranked structure. I have no idea what the rank meta is going to develop into until I see it. I could predict it saying, oh, well, this is a good ship, this is a bad ship. You don't know. You don't know how smoke heavy, how passive, how aggressive, how many destroyers are going to be, battleships, cruisers, aircraft carriers. You have no idea. And each server is completely different. I have heard that the Asian and the EU, pretty much every game is an aircraft carrier game. Well, if you have an aircraft every game, go anti-air, because the aircraft carrier can single-handedly win or lose every single ranked game. If you are really, really good in an aircraft carrier, I highly recommend you play it, because you're going to win, and you're going to win a lot. So I don't know until I see it. And I have seen a couple games, and I will hopefully be able to play again on Wednesday. At that point, we'll probably have enough content and information to make an educated assessment of ranked season so far. And I look forward to that. The Leander stood head and shoulders above a lot of ships. And now the reason I felt this way is because there was a lack of destroyers. When there's a lack of destroyers, I played at least 3 games where there was no destroyer per side. Who the hell is going to play the objective? Not the battleships. Not the long-range cruisers. The Leander is almost as good as any other destroyer from a concealment standpoint. So it sort of doubles its role, and I appreciate that. And I found a lot of success doing just that, playing the objective when there wasn't any destroyer or whatever. But beyond that, Friday Ranked Variety didn't work competitively. Hopefully people got to see it. If you would like to revisit it, just go watch a previous broadcast. It's the only thing that's up there now. It's the most recent one because I couldn't stream on Sunday. I'm sorry that down the line. I want to do it. I enjoy doing it. We're going to do it on Sunday. It's just one of those things that I do it on Sunday because most of the time everyone can see it. That's the reason I do it. And yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. So let's just keep doing it, right? Okay, let's move on from ranked, because we're going to play more, and it's going to be more akin to play the meta, beat the meta, move on. I don't really care if I get rank 1. I don't value that stuff at all. It doesn't mean anything. It just, you know, you got a good ship. Most people don't have every ship of the game like I do, so they can't benefit from what's really good or really bad. Most people don't garner the attention or the support. You know, it's just... I almost play in a bubble. I go into a game, both sides recognize me. My team is extremely happy helping me, and I appreciate that, and I love you guys for that. And the other team recognizes that they need to kill me. So I have streamed where I know I'm being stream sniped because they show up in a perfect opportunity to ambush just me, or the isolated target on my team, and I'm contributing to that failure by the team, and I feel bad for that, so I'm going to try and hide that. I do intend to stream ranked, because if I don't, why would I even play? The whole point is to stream and to answer questions for you. You know, what works for you in this situation? I'm not going to play random and hide my ranked. I'm not going to do that. I don't care about ranked. All I care about is helping you, whatever it might be if you're playing ranked, which a lot of people are. So that's the goal. But we will probably hide when the queue goes up. It's worked out pretty well. Apologies if you don't like that. I have to think about the people on my team and the people on the enemy team. I can't negatively impact their experience. And it is negatively impact when there's stream snipers, when there are people trying to manipulate the system to garner extra information from the queue. And that's just not fair. This is not fair. So that's the way it works from here on out. Now, 6.8 has been teased. What are they going to be changing? Well, initially, Conqueror's losing its 457mm guns. It's going to 419, I believe, and that's not a big deal, because the game is designed to get past thresholds. Between 419 and 457, there's not a lot of thresholds that matter. Now, 460 is a huge threshold, and you will never get a 460mm gun on the Conqueror. I love the Conqueror, the Brits and their names. So I don't really need to overreact, because there's not a lot to overreact to. It's just a change. Does it make the guns perform better? I don't know. I haven't played the 457. I have seen that the Conqueror heals a ton, and maybe that's the bigger issue. Or it has radar. Maybe that's the bigger issue. As far as the guns are concerned, we'll see how it goes when we get into it. There's going to be a global change for those special premium modules that you can equip. You know, the improved engine boost mod, or defensive AA, or hydroacoustic. They're moving damage control party 1, spotter mod, to the first slot. So it should compete with main armament, auxiliary armament, that sort of thing. Is that good? Is that bad? I can't say. I have to look at it, see if the benefit outweighs what the main armament or whatever provides. I don't really, you know, if something is a lot of, I don't put a lot of time in researching changes that aren't actually in the game, because they're subject to change. Why would I put all that effort? I will just discuss it in a very loose manner and be interested in it, but I'm not going to do all the math before it's out, because they might move it again, and then all that math is irrelevant. Kind of the reason why I hate making content on unreleased ships, knowing that it will change. The videos are worthless in a month's time, and there is more than enough content wargaming for me to talk about. I'm way behind. I haven't released content on the last, 6 ships that are brand new. I mean, I got everything. Of course, you could say, well, some people they don't have enough content. Well, I would argue that maybe they need to put more effort into their content so you get more out of it. Just saying. But engine boost mod, defensive AA, hydroacoustic, surveillance mod, all moving to the 4th slot. Now the 4th slot is the, well, actually, isn't the engine boost mod already on the 4th slot? Isn't the 4th slot the slot with the engine, steering, and lower chance of flood and fire? Is that the 4th slot? In a 6 slot rotation. You've got main armament, your DPS slot 1, DPS slot 2, and then you've got your engine, steering, fire. The next slot is maneuverability related to acceleration and rudder, and then the final slot is target acquisition and concealment, right? If these 4 are moved to that slot, it's a highly competitive slot. It's perfect for them. Engine boost is already there. It's great. I can't wait for this change to go in. I'm really excited for it. However, I would like to see it more before I, say, oh, well, this just changes everything. No, it doesn't really change everything. Now, is it going to make things more powerful or less powerful with these modules? Absolutely. These modules can't be as hard as they are to get. I think they're going to be required for competitive play if they all get moved to that slot. They just provide too much. Longer hydroacoustic, longer rudder, or radar, defensive AA, engine boost. These are big noticeable changes to skills that should theoretically get you 1 or 2 kills. Radar is just that strong when it's used. Hydroacoustic, same manner if you use it right. Defensive AA absolutely blankets the aircraft so they can't do anything. So if these modules are being moved to this slot, I think it needs to be easier to get, in my opinion. Japanese destroyers are getting in a unified torpedo reload boost, which is pretty baller. They are getting the 8-second rearm versus the 30-second. The 30-second's a piece of crap compared to the 5-second variant that's on the Shiratsuyu or the Ekizuki. Obviously, I would love that on everything, but we're going to get 8 seconds. And this competes with smoke on those on everything except the Shiratsuyu and the Akizuki. So you're going to have to make a really important choice. But at least it's actually competitive choice. This could be the difference between winning or losing. If you've got, I can't even imagine, 30, oh my god, 30 torpedoes in the water for the Shimakaze. Now you have to give up smoke. But oh boy, 30 torpedoes. If the enemy's grouped up, just say bye. Just goodbye, farewell. It'll be cool. It'll be definitely cool. And I would like to see it. Maybe they'll have to retweak it. I don't know. We'll have to see. Soviet destroyer changes. The Hobodovsk is losing the 10-kilometer range torpedoes. That's a significant change. That's moving it into the torpedoes might not actually be useful at all, because it will be within the concealment of the base ship at that point. You really don't want to sacrifice being visible to send torpedoes. It's a very bad trade. And the Hobodovsk, it's a big change. It's a big change, because usually what the Hobodovsk do is get 150,000 in gun damage very easily, and also send a couple torpedoes and get in front of the enemy, right? And it works out pretty well. This is a nerf. It's just a straight up nerf to the Hobodovsk. They are improving the concealment of the torpedoes, but you gotta get closer, and that's a big deal. So, yeah. Doubt very seriously that any Hobodovsk, self-respecting of course, Hobodovsk commander would use the 6-kilometer range torpedoes that you're gonna be stuck with. My problem is it just really limits the hybrid aspect of the ship, and it makes it so straightforward. Just go to max range and shoot your gun. It's like no skill whatsoever in that. Even me, I would get baited into because it's just so good. But if you are one of those who can really make use of the torpedoes, the old torpedoes, the 10-kilometer range torpedo, you could do a ton of damage to everyone. But Not in this new form. 6 kilometers is just a joke. It really is a joke at tier 10. The Grozovoy. Rate of fire and better concealment. This ship is going to be insanely strong. It's good for the ship. I just think they're overbuffing it. It's going to have concealment on the same level of the Japanese or the Americans, but it'll have better guns, better rate of fire. You know, torpedoes are useful. I don't know what they are thinking. I don't know what they're thinking. Tashkent is getting a buff. That's appreciated. Ogdevoy is also getting a buff. The torpedoes are going to get a better rearm time, so that's good. Indianapolis radar is getting buffed to 9.9 kilometers versus 8.5. Concealment is being improved on the Indianapolis. Well, let's face it, it needs it. It really does need it. The Bougainville is going to be getting improved rate of fire. That's a tier 1. Don't really care. Orlan is getting a rate of fire increase as well. Tier 1. Don't really care. So that's what has been on the docket for 6.8. There's some German nerfs to secondary guns. We know that's coming. For war battleships, you just can't burn as effectively. And, you know, maybe that's fair. The Ernst is getting improved health, which is nice. So, overall, interesting changes. Conqueror, I'm not going to overreact. I think the ship probably is broken in the way it heals and radar. It might need to be adjusted more. Obviously, nobody has played it except for super testers who are not supposed to talk about it, but of course they do. So I expect, you know, there's going to be more changes. Probably the single biggest change is that engine boost, defensive fire AA mod, hydroacoustic, and surveillance are going into a slot where they will probably be mandatory for competitive play, and I don't like it because the modules themselves are pretty broken when you consider a competitive aspect of it. Longer radar sounds really good. Longer hydroacoustic sounds really good. Longer AA sounds really good. Longer engine boost sounds really good. That's because it is really good. But it was competing with modules that were really good. Now it's not. And it's sort of putting onus on you to grind. Because that's the only way you can get it. Either you get through ranked, you know, the rich get richer. The better players get these modules. And then you have to hope that you get a super container. And over time, people who have invested years in the game will just straight up be better when it counts. And you might say, well, you still need to know how to use it. Oh, that's great. But if my tool is just better, it doesn't really feel like it's all on your ability to recognize when to use a skill, right? And I think that's an issue. But we'll see. We'll see if those actually go through. I do think that overall the modules need to feel better, but getting the equipment now has to have a better design. It just can't be out of a super container. Some of us have not seen a super container in months. So, I hope that this was interesting. I really want to get back to my content. I'm sorry for being sick, having my PC screw up, having the internet go out. I really hope we're past all this. I appreciate you all sticking by. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.